the same, these other words that they were phrases that they're saying that they want to tell you that I've reported, that the same, that they just use that to cover up what it is. Another one was, where's the restraining order? So I'm telling her, this girl threatened me with a boss when I was asking to make an agreement with her when she moved in. She threatened. So, and then I tell them that, they said, well, that's not an extortion. That was, I have that recording. Detective Martinez on the second floor of the West Valley saying, well, that's not a extortion, and I'm not going to tell you what extortion is. Well, what is it then? The label you put on it, what is it? She threatened, and she's been constantly threatening. But I told Officer Flores, she says, where's the restraining order? And there's something about why I couldn't find the restraining order. She was taking crucial stuff, documents, taking 2 of my phones, took Karina's phone with a method. She took that Amazon device. She was hacking. They were hacking us. It's a whole group of them. And they kept saying, "Where's the restraining order?" Like a to send me on a fool's errand. They were using the restraining order against me, not for its intended use. When I told the judge, "Can you protect me from her bringing her gang members here? The people look like they just out of jail. She would bring in here to threaten me," and the cops kept saying, "Well, she's allowed to have visitors." The middle of the night, some 2 guys staying overnight, playing loud, horrible gang music, vulgar, really, really atrocious gang music, loud, to threaten me. The judge had said, "I'll put something in there to prevent that." But the cops would keep saying, she's allowed to bring visitors. And first time they said that, the way she smiled in my face, like, "I got you, son of a bitch." You know, that's the way she looked at me. Like the victory. And she's done this to a lot of people in the past. The same method. Like, that's her power. That she's got the cops and the laws on her side. The cops and the law are her weapons. I need you to understand this. The criminals, the scammers, using the cops and the laws and the courts as their weapons to get property or large amounts of cash. Or influence. I understand this is how they influence the cops. Using these methods, and these are keys. The name of the gang is Keys. You had it all over the furniture in my house, on the wall, on the mailbox, my mailbox. I showed it to them. And on the street corner, on someone's fence, on the corner of White Oak and Sherman Way. They feel they own the street because they are occupying my house using police enforcement. And there is gang problem here, right down the street, White Oak and Bosco. On the Nextdoor app, you'll see there's people are reporting the house occupied by gangs, where a lot of stolen cars are on the driveway and in the parked around there. And everyone's saying cops ain't doing nothing about it. They want to get armed guards to help protect them because the cops are on the side of the criminals. I was telling them, you would maybe have a gunfight between our armed guards and the cops, because the cops are obviously helping the criminals. They're saying there's like turf war there, they're hearing shootings, they're crossing out gang names on the wall, which means a territory war. There's graffiti on my garage, graffiti over, you see graffiti, they're marking their territory, most likely. So I've been asking more than a year, what was she telling you? The first visit, I saw that picture of a gun, which was obviously to threaten me, on her social media. And then people ask, why didn't you check her social? Why do you check? They say, why didn't you check it? Now, when I'm checking it, I see the gun. They said, why are you looking at it? You see? So, and then they told me call LAPD SMART. So LAPD SMART came after the little chat. And yeah, they're outside on a social. I looked outside, they're all laughing it up, which they often were. And the cops say, we're just talking. And in that, they bonded together. So they that's the method. She bonded with them, playing victim, that she's been, and she said horrible things to them about me, that she's been abused, I imagine, and that the claim she was that she's been pressured to have sex for staying here. But I don't think that's only it. She's was telling them horrible stuff, which would, I think, explain partly why they were coming here scolding me repeatedly, grabbing my arm, and refusing to enforce the restraining order, refusing to acknowledge it. They were refusing to answer the phone. They refused to answer the phone. And so I kept asking them, I want to know what's on the body. I want to know what she was telling you. I want access to the body cam videos of those cops of every single visit they were here since October 2020. I want, and I am asking for that now. I have been asking, and you can see on when I'm talking to Detective Michael Parks, I have explained what I'm explaining to you repeatedly, and it's on video. So I'm going to post that, the first link under this, I'm going to post that. How at one moment he was actually listening to me, and I explained it over and over again in many different ways, in very clear terms, that I want to see what she was telling you that was getting you guys and girls, the police officers, biased against me, doing what you were doing. Scolding me, taking her side, refusing to acknowledge what she was doing wrong. And then, so that first investigation more than a year ago, I know the name of that Glacier, find that, she says she was there. So I'll put that the second video on the description. She was saying, well, you didn't do what you were supposed to do as a landlord. I said, what is it I wasn't doing? Tell me no. And then she goes, I can't tell you because I'm doing an investigation. I'll tell you when it's over. And now, when I was talking to Detective Michael Parks, he's saying, I got nothing to do with it. Talk to Glossier. Says, well, it's been adjudicated and she did nothing wrong. That was the conclusion of the investigation. That's not the answer to what was she telling you. It's not a matter of, the question isn't, was she doing something right or wrong, or my question is, what was she telling you about me that got you biased against me, got you, that's part of it. I know you guys, more than that, other reasons. I wanted that you could, okay, I'll post the other videos when the people come and they're scolding me. There's one point when they get me frustrated. That's the one, the supervisor, Sotelo, I think his name is Sotelo, was that the one that says, you don't have, when I'm at the police station, he goes, you don't have a restraining order. She's not a criminal. She's not a squatter. That I'll post right after the other ones, the video. He was saying, when he was saying that, and then a few days later, he's over here saying, with the restraining order, with another officer, that they're confirming it. So I said, well, you said the other day that I don't have it. Why were you saying that? Why were you so sure? He says he doesn't remember. That's the supervisor, Sotelo. So I lost the train of thought there for a second. How did I get to Sotelo? So I was saying, back to, you go back my footsteps back. So Michael Parks said, I have nothing to do with it. And then Rossier said, go talk to the detective, it's been adjudicated. And then what answer is that? It's been adjudicated. My question is, I was asking, what did she tell you? What did she tell you? And saying she did nothing wrong is not the answer to what she did tell you. I'm asking you, what did she tell you? I am using my rights under the Freedom of Information Act, requesting to know what she told you. I am using my rights under the Freedom of Information Act. Right now, today, Saturday, January 14th, 2023, I'm asking the LAPD West Valley Division for those body cam videos that you have of the first visit of the LAPD SMART to my house regarding Justine Taylor. I want to know what she told you. And the answer, it's been adjudicated, is not relevant to that question. The answer, she did nothing wrong, isn't relevant to that question. I want to know what she told you. Because that's a formula method I want to discover. Perhaps scammers all over this country using that same method. Scammers who use a lot of prostitutes using false accusations do that very, very prevalent method. They do know about it. The prostitutes making false report of sexual violation to blackmail, to sue, or to get somebody imprisoned, right? That is a common, prevalent activity. And then I feel the cops go along with it when they choose to, when they want to. They think the person deserves it, whether they're guilty of it or not. I was in a perpetrators group, Tarzana Treatment Center, and we were discussing, the guy was saying he had gone to the police station reporting that he had been assaulted by a girl, and then they laughed at him. They said, look, next time girl hits you, don't come to the police station, run. Just run away, because even if she chips a fingernail hitting you, they'll be arresting you. Because of the bias the law and the cops have and the courts have towards that they favor a woman in any kind of assault or domestic abuse, any kind of, when a man and a woman are involved, they believe the man was hitting the woman. So the point is, even if the woman is hitting the man, if she chips a nail, they will arrest the man, because the prevalent tendency is to believe the woman. And so that's one of the keys. She's a white girl, never from that part of the world, the Middle East. Okay, we'll stop trying to make it. And then when I use the R word, they say, "Oh, it's a buzzword. You're trying to sensationalize." You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so they do go after. Cops are known to be biased against certain ethnicities, shooting young men of color, claiming that he had a gun in his hand when all he had is Skittles. I'm sorry to bring that up. I know people are going to say, oh, you're sensationalizing, using buzzwords and trying to evoke. It's the truth. Cops are biased. Cops used to wear KKK hoods at night, and in the morning, in the day, wear cop uniforms. That's what I feel like. Okay, they're coming after me. It's a hate crime. They put comment on my YouTube channel that I'll post it there. He goes, men from your part of the world don't treat women as property or treat women as below them. And then the guy was saying that some video says, go back to where you come from. It's a hate crime. Cops do hate people on that sentiment, bias Americans do have against Middle Eastern because of 9/11 wars, Iraq and Afghanistan, and 9/11 going all the way back to when I was a kid. We grew up with hostage crisis, Jimmy Carter, Ayatollah, and it goes all the way back to Abraham, two sons, parted ways, all the way back until people believe Cain and Abel, sons of Adam and Eve. That's where it began, and how power of mythology affected people. And then we've been having discussions about how people who are in power have control over others using mythology in that way to set people against each other. People are busy fighting each other, having bias against each other. The whole crisis in the Middle East has been going on since the beginning. It's manifested here with the cops. I feel bullying me. Like people were bullying me. My people in England were bullying me, students, when I was a kid in St. Angelo's private Catholic school in England, Ealing, and then St. Benedict's was worse. I came here, Chatsworth High School was worse. They do have bias against Middle Eastern men. That I am. Though I'm not Muslim, I'm Christian. Armenia was the first Christian nation. I was born Christian. I'm not a harmful person. She was hoping I would harm her physically so that she could sue me or blackmail me or get me arrested. She kept trying to provoke that. That's why she killed Tanya's dog. In all these ways, using the cops. The cops themselves kept provoking me, grabbing me, behaving that way towards me. The whole scam is to provoke you. That's why she has wounds all over her, physical wounds. That's her medals from her previous attempts. Who did that to her? Who inflicted those wounds on her that she showed me the first time? When she moved in, she took off her pants and showed them to me. Her grooming method get me to trust her, showing how she'd been abused. And she showed how she said, "Put your hand on my chest, on her chest." She puts my hand on her chest, rotates her shoulder to show something wrong with the elbow because the shoulder wasn't dislocated, it was something else similar. That because she had someone had paid for a prostitution sex service, and then she was running away when the transaction was incomplete, and he was pissed off and he pulled on the arm, and the arm got injured, the shoulder got injured. So she was telling me all this stuff, and then so the wounds on her leg, she was saying she was back down the stairs, on the broken stairs. I could imagine someone was upset with her because of how she treats people. And I imagine similar situation. It's just, I don't do that. That's why I'm still around. I imagine the person who did that to her is either in jail or being blackmailed or sued. We would have to look in the places where she stayed in the past, do a background check where she stayed in the past, find out who the landlords were in all the places she stayed, and see what happened to them. Look at the ownership of the houses. Was ownership transferred after she left or during the time she was there? Because that is her intention, to steal the house using this method for her gang. So look under the Freedom of Information Act. I want to know what she told the cops. I want to know what the cops said. And the cops don't look back in the background because they say that's outside of the jurisdiction. So everyone, the investigators, lawyers, everyone, journalists, look in her past. Google my name, Zeke Matevosian, and there's a restraining order against me that she never filed, but it's there. That's part of her method to slander me. The restraining order comes against me when you Google my name. So go look at that name and do a background search on it. Look at the crime she's committed. Look at the addresses where she stayed. Some of them are in New Jersey, some of them are Florida, some of them are in this Los Angeles vicinity. Look at those addresses and research them. Research the crimes that she's committed. Find out what she's done to the people in the past. Then find out what this police station has. This specific police station, all the cases where there's tenant-landlord dispute, look at the ones where there's been repeated prolonged police visits. Look at those and see. I have no people who this is being done to right now. Look at those cases. Look at the one. Look at, are they doing the same thing? Keep going there, refusing to enforce restraining order. It's a cover-up. Look at what they're covering up over there. Because I keep asking them, they keep saying, it's been adjudicated, she did nothing wrong. They're covering up for what their participation in criminal activity. I want to know all the reasons why LAPD West Valley is helping criminals. I want to know everything. I want to know all the corruption in LAPD. I want it all revealed. I want everyone there, all the officers, all the staff, everyone, janitor, everybody, from the top to the bottom. I want them to claim whistleblower status, claim that protects them. They can't be fired. You say, I'm claiming whistleblower status, I'm claiming my protection under the Whistleblower Act. They can't touch you. They can't fire you. They can't threaten you. They can't chastise you. And then you have the right, you're protected under that law to reveal everything. And I'm urging everyone who knows anything about this to reveal everything. All of us together. Reveal what she told you. Reveal everything. You know, why they're helping criminals. Why are the cops that we trust with that uniform that has power that should be used to do good, that to protect good people and to protect us against gangs, against criminals, against squatters, against scammers, they're being used to help them. The laws and the cops working in concert, in conjunction with the criminals. Torturing people with a method called gaslighting over a year and a half. to get the result and to get the property, to get or large amounts of cash for the gangs that are obviously prevalent. Why there's so many graffiti? You see anybody you see graffiti, there's gangs.